Hi, welcome to Queers and Soaps. This is a special edition of Queers and Soaps. We're doing a TV movie with some big soap actresses in it. Um, it's called The Initiation of Sarah from February 6th, 1978. I'm Eric, and this is Bevan,
Hey.
and we'll be discussing it in just a moment. Roll those credits, Tommy. All right. So this was an interesting movie. I wrote down the writers of the movie. It's Don Ingalls, Carol Center, and Kenneth Gefeller. Some interesting names.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I sort of noticed a couple of quirky ones on there as well.
yeah, I didn't until I was reading them over, and I'm like, oh. The director is Robert Day, and he directed some Dallas episodes, as well. I thought that was kind of cool. I recognized his name. So we have Morgan Fairchild, who plays Jennifer Lawrence, which was kind of funny because she's an actress. Um, Kay Lenz, who I don't think was in any other soaps. She played Sarah. Morgan Brittany from TV's Dallas as Patty,
And
and
glitter.
and Shelley Winters as Erica Hunter. Do you recognize Shelley Winters from anything? Did you ever see her in anything?
It was more the name, so that could just I didn't recognize her face though. So she could have been in anything like audio, anything.
So I was confused for a little bit with Patty and Sarah's relationship. So I guess so Sarah was adopted. Did you
Yeah,
get that? She's
yeah.
adopted. And Patty is, I guess, the mother's blood daughter.
Yeah.
Because they have half sister. They weren't half sisters.
No, no, no.
Sarah was
They were
completely adopted.
I think that from the sounds of it, they sort of knew each other when they were young. And
They
after
grew up, yeah.
yeah, and then after Sarah's mum's disappeared, I mean, like I kind of felt like it sort of implied at first that she was dead, but it seemed like that she had just left because of like conversations further on where they're like, oh, it's sort of more like, oh, they don't know what happened to her. She just kind of pissed off.
Right.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know how else to do it because she goes, what does she say? She says something to her when she's talking to her dead mother, you know, oh, for all you know, she could be, out living a whole other life, or she couldn't be living a whole other life at all. And Sarah's just like, well, I'd like to know either, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So we open at the beach, and
Yes.
Patty and Sarah are both at the beach. There's a hot man that comes over to them. And I guess he is coming on pretty strong to Patty. And this is where we get like the first sign of something weird going on. Because like he's in the water, they're like in the water or whatever, and like it kind of like zooms in on Sarah. They love to zoom in like real close
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
then, I guess
definitely.
to make the effect of like something's going on with this girl. And then like the guy kind of like repels into the
Yeah.
water, like away from Patty. And you're like,
So
okay,
here's
so
me seeing that scene and forgetting that you said that it was like a TV movie, like a TV horror movie, and I'm
right.
sitting there being like, "The fuck just happened?" And then I'm like, "Oh wait," like I completely forgot. I was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie with the sofas in it and stuff. I'm gonna love it." Just
Yeah.
and I did actually
In
like
this
this, but there were things
in this
happening where I forgot what I was watching, so I was like, "Oh wait, yeah,
we noticed that the mom already, I guess they're going off to college, and the mom is very like all about Patty. So I guess she's like, I don't know, like a wicked stepmother of some sort to Sarah. I guess because
That mother, she's just like a more reserved, like Amy Poehler in Mean Girls. Like
yeah.
she's just like, oh, did you mention that I'm still like heavily involved with all the
Yeah.
the alumni stuff? And it's just like, I have got actual problems right now. Can you, like,
Yeah, I did rate the one. So I was trying to get, because I don't know that Phi Sigma shit. Like, I'm like,
I couldn't keep
what is
track of it all either, to be honest. I'm just gonna be
the
like
the
Jennifer's
one
sorority.
the one that they wanted to get into was Alpha Nu Sigma.
Okay.
Like, so that was the one that they wanted to get into. And then there was the shit one, which was PED, which was, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if they said the
Well,
actual one, but like
no, it
what it
was all
meant.
the awful ones.
Yeah, yeah, so funny. So, all right, so we get we get there right away. We see Morgan Fairchild as Jennifer. She says that Patty has real possibilities, but they have no interest in Sarah. Sarah and Patty are at the sorority party. They take they take Patty away. They leave Sarah on her own. They seem to like Patty, and I'm like, was it because of the mother they like Patty? Like, I don't understand why they don't like Sarah. She's a nice
I
girl.
think
Like,
like
it's just
I think it was all just that typical sort of like so like before so before I like was watching it and just trying to take it in as it was. I mean, Sarah's not like bad or anything, but she's more than just a little awkward, isn't she? She's weird. Like she's a
she is
weirdo.
weird,
She's
but she's
completely weird and she stares at people and and yeah, she's harmless and she doesn't deserve what happens to her and the and being completely
right.
pushed away and stuff. But like Patty's just chill. Like she's just excited and she's very much like college.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I didn't think they. I don't know because Patty's very protective of Sarah, like really protective,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I think that's sweet too because usually you'd see like the opposite kind of like like
I
let her
actually
be
thought it
on
was a
her
really
own.
good dynamic in that. It's
It
something
was
that they just bounced off each other quite well. So I suppose that is a good point to make too, though, with their chemistry, is that maybe that's why Sarah's portrayal was sort of so like stark contrast.
right because and how weird was it to see like Morgan Brittany actually as a caring person?
Yeah,
You
she's like
always
this nurturing
knew.
person, like nice and supportive.
And on Dallas, remember, she was like, you knew she was like being phony to Pam, even though that was sad to me. But we get, we'll talk about that when that happens on Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I was always disappointed in that too. All right, so the ladies they go to the house, they encounter this dog, and I guess uh Sarah like did that weird look thing, and the dog runs away because I guess the dog looked like it was going to attack them or something. So then they go to the PED, which is the other sorority, the rival sorority. These
Yeah.
fucking sorority movies. You know what we got to do? House on Sorority Row. Did you ever watch that one?
I
When I
love that movie. I've got
That's a
that
good one,
movie.
right? That's a good one.
Yes, yes.
Eileen
Eileen
Davidson.
Davidson is perfectly awful in that movie.
It's so perfect. Um, but that's another movie. So,
Yes. Yeah.
so then at this house is Rita from Dallas, Talia Balsam. Did you
Yeah.
recognize her as Rita?
Yes, I
Because I
did.
think
I
it was like
did.
it
Yeah.
might have been the same year actually of that movie, 78.
Yeah. Yeah. Around the same year, at least.
As her episode on Dallas.
Mm.
I don't think I pointed out that she was married to George Clooney.
I did not know that either.
Pretty crazy, right? Yeah, I looked it up last time and I forgot to say it. But for the Dallas one. Um, so yeah, this this already is so funny. Like this already like tragic and like so just sad. Like you just go in there, the girls are just sitting around like bored and like I'm like,
One keeps
wow.
licking that pen
Like,
or whatever she's doing. Like, what is she
one's looking
doing?
their pen, one's reading a
She's just
book. I'm
talking and she's
like,
like, like being a weirdo. I was like, what?
yeah. So this is where Sarah fits right in, right?
Yeah.
Um. Oh, and I made note that what's her name? The what is she? The mother? I forget what they call them. House mother?
The den
The house
mother.
mother. Yeah, the den mother. She's peering over the stairs as
Yeah.
Sarah and Patty are
Being all
downstairs.
mysterious.
Um. Then I have like Patty talks to her mom. That's when she mentions like, "Hey, I'm still on the board. Did you mention that?" But they were already interested in Patty though before she even had to mention that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think just the idea of it being second generation is just like a traditional thing that they were definitely keen on with Patty. So like she's all nice
yeah,
and like has the look, but she's also alumni. Sorry, related to alumni.
yeah. Sarah is prettying up. That was cute. I like that part. But then she overhears Patty say that she feels sorry for her and stuff, and it's all downhill
Yeah,
from
because
there.
Mummy's sort of telling Patty to sort of, oh, you see, there was something in there where I was like, okay, part of this is true, but you're also being awful. Like, yes, the girls have to learn to separate and live apart because they're going to have their own lives. This is the start of that. But
Right,
don't be a bitch about it. Like, there's no reason to be awful about it.
right.
Like,
Does it have to be like 5 minutes into your stay, like trying to get?
yeah, it's literally still Hell Week, just saying.
Yeah, it's
Like,
still Hell Week. It's the first 10 minutes of the movie.
yeah.
Um, so, um, oh, so yeah, so she goes in and she's like putting cream on her face, and then like that weird thing happens, and the mirror breaks.
So, can I talk about that scene for a minute?
Yeah,
Like, okay, so it's not that, okay, I get it. Like, horror movies have, like, it just was very, like, I get it. Like, she was angry and she was upset, but what did she do it to, like, mess up with her, like, her stuff? Or, like, because she,
yeah, I think so. She
she
just
just sort
wanted to
of
cover her
stormed
face,
back
kind
and
of.
then she's just like, I get all this, And then she's just like, I'm like, okay.
Right,
I
poor
didn't I
thing.
didn't get that scene. I do, yeah. I was like, okay. And then the next day when they're talking about it, like, making up, they don't talk about that she did that. It's more just like, oh, I think, I just overreacted a bit and I'm sorry. And she's like, I'm sorry too, and I'm like, you just like got mad and wiped cream all over your face like a weirdo.
Right, and like does Patty like? I almost feel like Patty knows it, but nobody talks about it. Like it's kind of like
Yeah,
a
that's actually kind of a good point because like it is like that. That's probably why I'm like having a chuckle because like it did feel weird that it happens. And then the next day, like Patty doesn't is like sort of worried and she's like making sure that Sarah's okay. But as soon as Sarah says, oh, it's forgotten, she's like, oh yeah, it's forgotten. So maybe you're right
yeah.
there. Maybe yeah.
It's like something they don't talk about. Like it's what which makes sense too, because like it's kind of like in those times people didn't talk about mental health. So it's kind of like something's going on with her, but we don't talk about it. Like she
But
does
like
weird shit and
yeah,
we don't talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because she even gave like looks after everything, she'd be like a horrified look, like, oh shit, did my sister do that again? But doesn't
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah,
hey,
yeah.
hey, are you okay? Are you triggered? Like, this weird shit going on. Like I don't know. I feel like they should know things. Whatever. I guess they're supposed to be just freshmen in college
No,
or
but that's a
whatever.
good point to make because like I was sort of watching it and I sort of thought parts of that were jarring, but you're right. I was like as you were talking about like Patty's reactions in the background to things and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like actually yeah, she's always watching it.
So we find out Sarah got into the boring one, PED, which Jennifer likes to call pigs, elephants, and dogs.
Mm.
I don't think we ever find out the actual name of it. It's just because shouldn't it be like Phi something Delta probably?
It probably would be, to be honest. I don't know what it would be, but it
Yeah.
probably I'd say
They
it'd be
could have
something
meant
like that.
they could have mentioned it, but I might have missed it too. Um, oh, and Jennifer, so I guess Jennifer's there with both sisters and or whatever they are. Jennifer says she that Patty has to call everyone ma'am because it's like the Hell Week thing starting, and she
Yeah,
can't associate with anyone in PED anywhere,
anywhere
anytime,
at any
or
time.
she'll blackball her in the campus. Oh, what a mean girl that Morgan.
Yeah.
And she don't even get scared off easily either, that bitch. She's hardcore. Um, I don't know. I would probably say she might be worse than Eileen's character in House in House of Sorority Row because she don't stop. Um,
But okay, we'll get into that if we do House of Sorority Row because I don't know about that.
oh yeah.
That that movie goes a bit full on.
This could be our special sorority row series because
Yeah.
at least 10 movies I could think of that have to do with sororities.
Yeah.
Um, so Patty gets to Sarah. Sarah, I guess something's going on where they're moving a piano. This is what you were talking about, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think did she get mad at Patty at this point and like the
Yeah,
piano
so
fell?
Patty, it was just after Patty got forced to say, not associate from anybody from pigs, elephants, and dogs.
Right.
And uh, what was it? Patty wasn't going to say it at first, but she gets coerced, more or less, or not coerced like that, but like forced to. And like, yeah. And then she's
Right.
not loud enough. Jennifer makes her say it louder. And of course, Sarah storms off because that's her mob. And yeah, and
Yeah.
so she's sort of pissed off and stewing over it, and Patty's gone to look for her. And for Sarah's walked under, people lifting a piano.
Yeah. And then like the next scene is like Sarah's understanding all of a sudden. She's like, we can go our separate ways. It's fine. Like I gotta do my thing, you do your thing. Um, and then I have a Scott goes off with Patty. So Scott is played by Robert Hayes, who was in a bunch of stuff. He was in like Wonder Woman and stuff. I don't even know like when they had time to meet these people. Like Scott just came out of nowhere. Like I'm like, have they been there before? Like I don't know. It's just
Well,
really weird.
a lot of the guys that come into it later are all like the ones that mainly have lines and appear are all the ones that were around the piano when Patty almost got squished.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there's only like
Um,
four dudes, and it's funny
yeah.
too. Like, even though that like the focus and there's a prank that involves a bloke and all that, the girls aren't really competing over any boys. It's all about their own like
Yeah,
university
it's about their own.
politics.
Right. So Sarah goes to PED. I guess that's where she's living. And then Patty goes to the other one. Um, Erica's always on those steps, Mrs. Hunter. She's always on those damn steps. So like like Sarah's on her way up, and then that's where she is on the steps. She greets her. And she knows stuff. Like something's up with this lady, like right from the get-go. You're like, what's up with
Yeah,
this bitch? Um, Jennifer brings Patty to her room, so I guess they're showing them simultaneously. She goes out and she says that she can see the foxes from the window, meaning the hot men, I guess, from her view. Back to Sarah. She meets this girl Abigail. I guess she bonds with. Is Abigail Mouse? I think she goes by Mouse too.
yeah, I think that was her. Yeah.
Yeah. They talk about Miss Hunter. As she's like chanting something in the other room. Did you catch that?
So I think that was more like, see, this is where this part started to get to me a bit more. Like, is it because at first it seems like with the mention of the way like Sarah's doing psychology and all that, that it's like a telekinesis type vibe, maybe in the vein of like Carrie or Carrie, depending on where you're from, I
Yeah.
guess. Um, and
Hmm.
then you've got this one in like sorry these scenes and a couple of others later on that sort of imply that it's like magic. So
Yeah.
like witchcraft or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know if they
I
deliberately
don't.
did that to kind of make it open or not, but
Right. It does seem weird.
mm,
Um, so Miss Hunter wants to see Sarah, so they talk. This is where we find out that she was adopted or whatever by Mrs. Goodwin.
yeah,
I have her, yeah, Mrs. Goodwin. Um, she fills Sarah in a little bit about her real mother. Sarah wants to know more, which she talked about. Um, then she mentions the initiation, hence the title, The Initiation of Sarah. She says Sarah is special and wants to show like she can show her how to use her powers. I would like to know more about Mrs. Hunter. I wish they had like a prequel of where the fuck she came from and what made her a crazy bitch.
yeah. Like she is just lurking around there, and then like just yeah,
Right? I almost feel like it's like a satanic type thing, like a satanic, like she praises Satan or something. That's what it comes across.
I just
But they might
like
not have
nowhere
been
near
able to
enough
put that.
history was gone into on this feud either. Like what happened? Like there was I don't know. It just seems so occupied with working its current premise, that it didn't really
Yeah.
expand on a whole lot of other stuff. And I was
No.
thinking along the same lines, like, where did this
Well,
old lady come from? Like,
I think they did. I think it was something with Jennifer's mom did something
yep,
back in the day. That's where it came from. Like Jennifer's
okay,
mom did something. I don't know if I have it written or not, but I remember that's what they mentioned, and I can't remember what, and that's why that Mrs. Hunter wants to get at Jennifer more so than anybody, because we'll talk about that in a minute. I think it's coming up.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so oh yeah, and I put like oh that was well, who was that other guy with Sarah? He was like the teaching assistant. Who
yeah,
was
yeah. I can't actually. What's his name? I can't actually remember his name offhand at the moment.
I'm sure I have it here somewhere, but I can't find it. Paul? I think it's Paul.
Paul, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, they're kind of into each other, but like I guess they don't really say they're just like hanging out or whatever. Uh, this part was funny. Like Jennifer pulls Patty away from Sarah, and everybody's offering Sarah coffee. They're like, "You want to go for coffee? You want to go for coffee?"
yeah.
And then she agrees to Paul, and then she goes away. Like she gets like upset about something and walks away. I'm like, that was interesting. Um, she had like a sense that Mouse was in trouble. Like
Yeah.
there was something going on. So
Well, so
she's
she
got
snaps at
some,
Mouse because Mouse does the coffee thing, and then she's like, ah, and
right.
then Mouse storms off, and then yeah, and then she sort of just gets a vibe, and yeah,
Yeah, that was weird. So that's like different. That's not exactly telekinesis either. So she had some big powers, whatever it was
it has to
going
be
on
magic,
there.
right? Like,
I guess so. And then so she almost got hit by a car, um, but wasn't. Then Hell Week's coming. They're talking about that. She opens up to Paul already and says that she has some kind of special power. She doesn't really know what it is.
yeah,
Jennifer, oh, Jennifer called Sarah a lowlife. She picks on Mouse. Then Sarah does that thing and throws Jen in the fountain.
yeah,
Oh, that was great though, that conversation, wasn't it? Sarah told her off.
yeah, yeah.
She's like, "You're ugly and everyone will turn on you eventually."
Yeah.
And you would think this would have shaken her, but this bitch was just like, "Nope, going to
Well,
keep
they do
on
play with
trucking."
the expectation a bit. They make it look like she's sort of like, oh, I deserved it. I should try and make up for being a bitch and all that. And she does actually go out of her way to play the full blown like
She
nice
does.
girl. And yeah, so
She does. But
I actually
I
think
knew
this prank.
something was
I
up.
mean, you talk about pig's blood pranks. I mean, this one wasn't particularly lovely. Like this was pretty mean.
Yeah. So, the PED girls are just like talking about it and laughing it off because I guess Jennifer tortured them all for years, so now they have a girl like that's fighting her. Um, Miss Hunter appoints Sarah as their leader. I guess none of them could stand up to her before. Jennifer comes and she apologizes to Patty, says she deserved it. Um, she wants to pledge Sarah now all of a sudden. But that's why I already knew. I'm like, this bitch is up to no good. She's trying to get info on her.
Mm,
uh Patty asks like who she's saying, or no, not Patty, I'm sorry. Jennifer is asking who she's seeing. And Patty's stupid and says, "Oh, she's been seeing a lot of Paul Yates lately, the teacher's assistant." I was like, man, this isn't gonna go good. Um, Miss Hunter wants Mouse to be a part of the initiation. Mouse is creeped out.
well, isn't it more
Um,
like she wants her to be a sacrifice?
Well, I don't think at this point, I don't think she said what it was exactly. She's
Just that
just
she
like,
wanted her
oh,
involved.
I think she said she wants you involved and like you're gonna be a big part of it. And she's
See,
the
maybe like this is
sacrifice.
just me being aware of these stories and immediately going, "Oh, she's gonna like."
Right, right.
So I just filled in the blanks for
Um,
myself.
so we find out that this a girl committed suicide under Miss Hunter's care. or committed suicide. We don't,
Yes.
whatever. I'm sure, whatever. We figure something out. Still, I feel like we still end up with not knowing, but we'll get to that. Jen wants a favor from Scott. Jen's mother gave. Oh yeah, this is it. So when that girl committed suicide, Jen's mother accused Miss Hunter. That's where the fight started between
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
the rivals. I
I
knew I
did
had
miss
it
that bit
somewhere.
actually. I missed that bit.
Probably went to pee or something. Okay. Um, Sarah and Paul, they protect the PED girls. I guess they're standing up for them. Scott calls for Sarah, invites her to a party for Paul. It's all going down. Then we get to the house, to the PED house. Sarah answers the door. All these car lights turn on. It gets a little wild. They throw like all kinds of shit, tomatoes, mud. I like that's what I saw. What else? What else did they throw? Anything else? Did you see anything else?
Yeah, it was just like I don't know, like vegetables and mud and
A bunch of shit.
yeah.
I think there might have been an egg. I thought I saw maybe an egg. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Um, then I think Jennifer screamed something at her, something like a Scotty Waddy thing. I don't know. Um, so and Sarah didn't blow up like you would think she would have, because she's been doing it, the whole
Yeah.
time. You would have thought she would have done something, but I guess they couldn't afford to do anything cool because it was a TV movie. So they were just like, all right, let's just go in. And Sarah's kind of just like in shock that it happened. She's just sitting there. Miss Hunter goes up to Sarah and she's like egging her on. She's like, "You want to kill Jennifer? You want to get her, get her, get her?" And like
Yeah.
Sarah's just sitting there
Use your
like
rage.
Sarah's just sitting there like
Yeah, she's just
she
like,
didn't
can I please
really
just cry in peace? Like,
right,
no, I
right.
mean, like, she is getting all G'd up and everything like that, so there is that. But, like, yeah, she's just like, yeah, so she's like cleaning her and like doing up her hair again.
Yeah, and meanwhile Patty tries to make a call, tries to get through to her, but that doesn't happen.
Mm.
Um Paul talks to Patty, wants her to go talk to her. Miss Hunter wants Sarah to get angry, I guess, to help her with her powers. Um, Patty
And for a
decides
moment,
to
she
leave
does
her.
actually. For a moment, she does after that, like, because Patty ends up confronting Jennifer about it, and
Well,
they
yeah,
both
that this
get
is,
slammed in the shower.
but what led to that was Patty is going to leave her sorority, and she confronts Jennifer, and that was weird too, because I'm like, I thought something was going to happen to Patty and not Jennifer. That stuff always
Yeah,
happens too. Although it happened to both of them, so I was like, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
She's like, think of
I actually
Jennifer.
did think they were both going to die there. I actually did think I was like, huh. I wonder how like boiled they'll end up looking because it's a TV movie, and then they got away. They got away, and I was like, oh, okay, that's
Well,
how.
yeah, that was the weird thing to me too, because like, so they were in the shower, whatever. It gets like super hot water, whatever, and they're like trapped in, and you can't see through it. It's like whatever. Um, and yeah, like they're both like panicking, and then like I guess there was a commercial break, and then when it comes back, you only see Jennifer. You don't see
Yeah,
Patty for a while. So you're like, did Patty die? Did she really burn? Like,
yeah.
where's she at? You don't see her
Like what
for like
happened to
a
her?
while. Right. That was weird because I'm like, so Jennifer's fine, and she didn't really look that red. Like she didn't look too terrible, like a little pink. So I guess maybe that would they were trying to basically say like Sarah's not strong enough to kill anyone yet, or
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
yeah. It probably would have been actually because it was mostly with Den Mother gearing her out.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Miss Hunter brings up the initiation, and Sarah goes, "No one will die this time, right?" Miss Hunter's a little mad at that. I mean, someone
Yeah,
did
she's like, of
die.
course not.
Hey, Sarah talks to Paul. Says she's finally free of Patty now. Um, they have a ceremony. This is the ceremony already. See, this movie went quick. So, um, Miss Hunter starts the ceremony for PED. Then they're kind of like simultaneously going because Jennifer's doing her thing. And meanwhile, we still don't see Patty. So I'm like still wondering where the fuck Patty's at. Um,
Oh, that's
the,
right. I think wasn't it at the girls' sororities, Jennifer's get together. Well, didn't some of the girls like gossip? And she says something like, Patty is in the dorms.
yeah, I think so. So they mention it, but they don't see her yet.
Yeah, they don't show it.
Um, so yeah, so I forget which ones were wearing what. So the Miss Hunter's wearing this like satanic red outfit. This is what made me think that it was like a Satan thing because why would you
The
wear
red.
red, you know?
Yeah, I saw
And I
something
feel
similar
like
with a big red hood.
yeah, and I was thinking like it was 1978, like maybe they were like afraid of saying like you're in a satanic cult back then. Like I don't know, because they kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
allude to things but
It's more
never
obvious.
say it.
It's just more like it's more obvious in like not obvious, but like it's just imagery and color. Even the red is their type of red, you know? Like
Yeah,
is yeah. So
and
yeah, I
Alpha
definitely think it's supposed to evoke that sort of thing.
and Alpha Nu Sigma people were wearing like black masks and or wait, were the PED wearing the black masks?
No, I
I
think
think,
no, yeah, sorry. The rest of them were, yeah, yeah.
and then the other ones were wearing yellow and blue outfits. Like I
Yeah.
think the one I forget like the ones that have been there a while are yet yellow, and then like the blue ones were the new girls or something.
Yeah, you have your
Um,
seniorities and all that, yeah.
yeah. And then something about I put lighting worthy candles. I don't know. I guess they were doing something to make you worthy of it. I don't know. That was
Yeah. It
the
just seems like
Jennifer
some sort of
sorority.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Weird. So then all of a
Friggin'
sudden
sororities.
yeah, it gets super windy. The girls are holding on, and she's like, "Destroy Jennifer." She turns old, Jennifer, like this old, weird, creepy face, which almost looked like more of a skin disease than turning old to me. But maybe they couldn't
Yeah.
afford a really good makeup artist back then. I don't
I'm
know.
like, my girl needs some moisturizer.
Skin's so soft. Um, they're yeah, they're holding on. Then we find out that Moose is the sacrifice. That's where I think she comes out. She's like, "Help me!" Sarah tells the girl to get her out of here. Sarah stops Mrs. Hunter from picking up her knife. She lights everything on fire. It
Yep.
happened so quick. It was like the last 2 minutes, and everything's coming down. Then you finally see Patty, and she's trying to come and helping Sarah. Paul holds her back because I guess she'll light up if she goes into it. Um, and that's it. And I guess Sarah's pretty much toast.
Yep.
It didn't end how I thought it would, but I'm like, okay. And then I have
I figured they were going
F
for like a death ending because if I was like, it's too close to like Carrie's era and that was very popular. I just like yeah, this
yeah,
like which girl is gonna get it?
right. I didn't think somebody was gonna die. I thought Patty was gonna die actually, but she didn't.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, Mouse and Patty are talking about Sarah. Um, and then somebody says, "Is she dead?" So I'm like, "Is she really dead?" Or I don't know.
They might have just been doing that open sequel thing. Like if they ever decided to make another one, who knows?
All right.
Keep it
So that's
mysterious though.
that's pretty much it. So you liked it? Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought for like a TV movie, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun
I
movie.
actually didn't think it was too bad at all. They did really decently with like sort of establishing the characters and stuff like that. And for the first part of it, it does really feel like just kind of like a teen sorority movie kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, it does. But I want to say, I wonder if we have to look and see if there's like any other sorority movies before 1978. Because I know this kind of kicks off sorority shit. Because like even like a Charlie's Angels episode a year after that is something like sororities and like it's ongoing. Like I guess it's always been a thing, like rival
Oh, so you
sorority
mean like
shit.
TV or movies?
TV and movies. Like it
Oh,
must
okay.
like I don't
Well, I know that like Black Christmas, wasn't that like 74?
right, right. I forgot about that
I'm
one.
pretty sure it was 74, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. I could be wrong, but I know it was one of
Yeah,
the
and that
sort of
was
like one of the
sorority,
earlier
right?
sort of like, that creep stalking the teenage girl sort of thing.
Yeah. And Carrie was in high
I love that
school, so
movie.
I guess that's where it differed a little bit. There was no
Mm,
sororities in Carrie.
mm.
But anything else to say?
No, I thought it was enjoyable. I remember chuckling because I was like, "Oh, it's a supernatural horror," and I forgot because you'd already told me what it was about, and I hadn't seen it. And then I'm like, "Okay, I know who's."
Right.
I remembered who was in it, and then I'm like, "Oh, oh," and just sort of like started enjoying it as I was watching.
Yeah, the two Morgans. And that might have been the only time they were like acted together. I'm not sure, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll wrap this episode up of Queers and Soaps. Thanks for joining us, everyone, for this little special. And follow us, subscribe, like, comment, and let us know if you want us to do any more TV movies. And, we'll think about doing whatever you tell us to do. I did that for Swan's Crossing. I listened to a fan. And we're doing it. So find us on all the socials. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.